If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another night of great racing in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Racing League here on the Ghost Fire Media Network. I'm Randy Pepper alongside Nick Adams on a night of racing at Chicagoland. And this is a cutoff race, is it not, my friend Nick?
This is the cutoff race in the round of 12, Randy Pepper. Tonight is the night we cut this field in half from 12 to 6, and there are some massive names currently sitting below the cut line here. We're going to talk about it immediately. Obviously, up at the top, we have Ryan Howard, Mike Kelly, Justin Fuller. Those three names don't surprise me in the least bit. Derek Myers up in fourth. He doesn't surprise me. He's had a fantastically strong season. Tyler Dalton in fifth. That one doesn't surprise me. Richard Beasley sitting in sixth. That surprises me a little bit with the talent that we have in this round of 12. I love Richard Beasley. I've been rooting for the Tide ride all year. Did I actually think he'd make it to the round of 6 and possibly fight for this championship? My heart of hearts, I hoped so. But I didn't think he was going to be able to beat out some of these guys that he's beaten out. I mean, Randy, we had the hottest driver in the entire league in Pedro Mojica coming in before the postseason began, right?
Yes, absolutely.
He's sitting 7th. He's 3 points out, 4 points out right now in the playoffs. 4 points out of going to the finale. That's insane. Chad Coleman currently at 3,065 points. He sits in 8th. Daniel Fockingham, the dominant car of the regular season, the car that we all thought was going to be guaranteed a shot at that round of 6 for a championship, currently sits in 9th. And he's not a few points out. He's 11 points out. He needs to have a fantastic night while these other guys around him have a bad night. Scott Simley sits in 10th. He's at 3,060. He needs a miracle to get into the round of 6. Hamish Gallagher, anything short of Jesus coming up on this track tonight and putting Richard Swaverly in the lead and getting every single one of these other playoff guys to crash out on lap number 1, Richard Swaverly's championships hopes are all but over coming into tonight, and I can't believe it. We're looking at Hamish Gallagher here in practice. He's the fastest car on the track by by almost a tenth of a second right now. And he might need a absolute stunning miracle to get himself into the round of 6. I cannot believe what we are seeing here tonight at Chicagoland.
I agree. Yeah, it definitely, for some of these guys, it would take a Johnny Unitas Hail Mary to the end zone for them to make it to the next round.
This is insane, Randy. I didn't expect to see this. I don't think you expected to see this happen.
No.
I am flabbergasted that we are here in the elimination race of the round of 12, and 6 guys that we thought were almost guaranteed to be in the round of 6 are sitting on the outside looking in. Or they're right on the cusp. I mean, we had, in the beginning of the playoffs, we had 2 major eliminations that we didn't see coming. We had Bentley Glazier, and we had Trey Eidson. Those were 2 major eliminations in the first round of the playoffs we didn't see coming. And now we could have 2, 3, maybe 4 eliminations we didn't see coming here at the round of 12.
Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, like Pedro, he may have premature peaked a little too soon because he was towards the end of the season. He was really hot. And now we look at him, he's sitting 7th.
Well, that's the question, right? Did that happen? Did that happen to Daniel Falkenham?
Maybe so. It might have been.
Did Falkenham put it all on the line? I mean, I know he has a lot of stress with what's going on right now, trying to get himself into the NASCAR Cup, into the the Pro Series.
Yeah, the Pro Series.
Has that been weighing on his mind? Has that caused him to be off of his game here in the Transervice Truck Series?
I will say this. I do think that Daniel is taking it seriously tonight, because usually we do not see Daniel till roughly 2 minutes before the race time. Tonight he was here a lot sooner than that. So he actually is out here trying to fine-tune his truck and trying to figure some things out. So I don't think Daniel wants to go home quite so soon. So we'll see, though. I mean, as I always say, we will see what's going to happen here in the Transervice trucks, not cars.
And you're going to see here, folks, in one moment how close the points are realistically. When you see how many vehicles I have highlighted in yellow on our official timing and scoring on the left-hand side of your screen, I honestly don't think any of those guys are locked in. I think maybe Ryan Howard might be, Justin Fuller, and Mike Kelly. Other than that, I think there are 3 very serious challenges to get themselves into the playoffs, and Justin Fuller might even be a stretch of being locked in here tonight. Justin Fuller is sitting in 3rd at 3,078 points. That's only 5 points above the cut line. I'm putting him green and white just based on how I think Justin's going to run, but that could change. At any point throughout this evening, you're going to see guys turn red. You're going to see guys turn green. I'm going to be adjusting that throughout the evening, and Randy Pepper's going to be helping me with what he thinks is happening. But, man alive, Randy, this is about to get really serious here when we go into qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely, because you definitely want to qualify as close to the front as you can. You definitely don't want to end up having a bad run tonight, because it could ruin your whole season for some of these guys. You know, we talk about this whole grid right now. We have Howard, Fuller, and Kelly. Out of those 3 guys, Mike Kelly, we've always said he's like Mr. Consistent, but this season there was a long stretch that Mike was terrible. I mean, he just couldn't get a break.
Springtime. Yeah, you look at his springtime. And Mike Kelly was the guy who I thought, he barely made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, he barely made it. And now look at him.
Mike Kelly was the guy all season. We talked about him in the Winter Series when we covered the Winter Series here for Sim500. He was Mr. Consistency. That's what he was in the Winter Series. He was the challenger to Daniel Fockingham throughout the entirety of the Winter Series. And then Daniel Fockingham's consistency of being the fastest guy and winning the most races really helped him drive away inside that Winter Series. The same thing it did in the regular season. But we came here to the playoffs, and Daniel hasn't been that Mr. Consistent. He hasn't been that I'm at the front winning all the time. We haven't had those constant same winners here in the Transervice Truck Series playoffs. I mean, since the playoffs began, Daniel Fockingham won at Pocono, Bristol and Auto Club went to Pedro Mojica, and then the round of 12 started with Jimmy Coleman winning at Talladega and Justin Fuller winning at Richmond.
Yeah.
We haven't had the repeat winners.
Well, Pedro was the
Other than Pedro.
Pedro was the only repeat winner throughout the whole season.
I mean, last week Daniel
Or,
Fockingham
actually
had a
back-to-back.
really rough week for Daniel Fockingham last week. He actually finished 26th, 3 laps down. Adam Wood filled in for me and Randy last week, and Daniel had a really rough week. He started 7th. He completed 137 laps. He was 3 laps down, finished 26th. I mean, that's what's going to put him in this position now coming into tonight where he's going to be in this I'm pretty much need to win and hope that other guys have issues around me. But right now, provisional poll, Justin Fuller, 31.15. Very fast time out of Justin right now.
Ron Benefield is second.
Tyler
right now.
Dalton jumps
Boom.
provisional pole with a 31.13.
Oh.
Here's the thing about Tyler Dalton tonight, Randy. He needs to have a good finish, but the issue with Tyler, as we've seen all season, he needs to be able to save those tires. That's when this is when it's going to come serious for him. He's got to be that guy tonight that shows I can save my tires. Mike Kelly provisionally 3rd here. Ryan Howard now jumps provisionally 3rd. Pedro Mojica sits provisionally in 8th currently, as we still have a lot of guys left to run their lap. So far, only about a third of this field has run a lap. We're going to see the constant change. Doug Roth jumps to 6th. Mike Kelly falls to 8th. Rich Swaverly falls to 10th. Hamish back in 22nd. Sorry, not 22nd. Hamish now up to 5th. Derek back in 15th. I was looking at his car number, not where he actually was in the field.
I understood. I knew.
We're looking at Derek here. And he, just like everybody else, he needs to have a good start here tonight. He needs to have a good qualifying, get himself in the top 10, really show what he's made of here. And it's going to happen temporarily, at least, provisionally in 5th. But this is the guy that I think we are most shocked at is our provisional pole sitter now, Daniel Fockingham. He goes to the 31.12. He needs to come out here tonight and really just pump his own tires up and get himself out there.
Yeah, and I imagine he is probably going to do that. He's going to do everything he can to make sure he's in the good. The only thing is there are other guys that are trying to do the same thing, and hopefully these guys don't get together and ruin each other's nights. Which, it could happen.
It could. It really could. I mean, you have 5 guys right now, 5, 6, 7 guys that really need to have a good night. And you have a couple of guys who, inside that top 12, have nothing to lose right now because they know they have to go out there and win, and they have to see these other guys have problems. This is what we expected in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, which we haven't seen, right? In the Cup Series playoffs, every single year consistently, the best of the best are in the playoffs, and they are fighting at the front of the field. That hasn't happened this year in the Cup Series playoffs, but here in the Transervice Truck Series, we have seen that. I mean, you look at the top 7 in the qualifying right now. All 7 of them are playoff drivers, and you sit at 8th. You have the defending series champion Tommy Ryan, who was knocked out in round 1, trying to get himself just a little bit of confidence to be able to fight back and try to get his title back next year.
Yeah, that's. I would think that's what he's kind of aiming at right now, and just kind of trying to redeem himself and get ready for next year. You gotta wonder if some of these guys, if they don't make it tonight, will they stick around or will they call it a night and head off for the rest of the season? That's what I always wonder. Because sometimes it can just blast your whole confidence level, and you go into mode where, well, here's stuff I need to do around the house.
I've definitely had that happen before. I think we all have. The most difficult part about racing or any sport is the feeling of pure defeat. And coming in here tonight, if you're one of those guys in the cut line, there's two options for you. There's pure feelings of success and happiness, and I've done it. I have a shot now for the next 3 weeks to fight for a championship. Or it's over.
Yeah.
Everything I fought for this year is over.
My dream is over.
And that can hurt. That obviously can hurt. We all know how that feels. It doesn't feel great. It's not something we would wish on anybody, and maybe our worst enemy, but it's a rough feeling. It's not a great thing to feel. I don't think anybody wants, to feel that. Nobody comes out here and goes, hey, listen, I do this because I want to feel like I failed tonight. No, I do this because I want to go out there and show that I am the best damn race car driver I know I can be. And, well, let's do it.
Yep, absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's give me
as we talk about
second.
that, the field is lining up on the grid.
There we go. We were just fixing something. All right, we're good now.
All right, good.
And the official grid for the race 3 of the round of 12 of the 2022 Transervice Truck Series playoffs has begun. And Randy Pepper qualifying on the pole, Daniel Falkingham. Back in second, going to be Tyler Dalton. Third, Justin Fuller. Fourth, Pedro Mojica. In fifth, going to be the number 33, Ryan Howard. Sixth, Derek Myers. Seventh, Hamish Gallagher. Eighth, going to be Tommy Ryan. Ninth, Stoney Benfield. 10th, Randy Yoakum. Back in 11th, going to be Doug Roth. 12th, Mike Montesi. Back in row 7, E.J. O'Rourke on the inside, Mike Kelly on the outside. Row 8 is going to be Glenn Campbell and Richard Beasley. Row 9, Chris Sawyer and Richard Swavely. Back in row 10, going to be Jeff Ryan and Ron Holyfield. Row 11, going to see Bentley Glazier and Chuck Sweeting. Row 12, going to be Justin Mons and Charles Roods. Row 13, Josh Parker and Kevin England. Row 14, Doug Sigmund and Dwight Beverly. Rounding up the field in row number 15 will be Brian Wertman and Ed Burrell. As we continue to keep an eye, Randy, tonight, the most important battle I think we're going to be watching on the track all throughout the evening is going to be these battles between these playoff drivers and their hopes to go to the championship 6. Right there, Daniel Falkingham.
January 1st, number 39.
Why did that drop down?
I have no idea.
That's weird why that dropped down. Anyway, Daniel Falkingham, the January 31st, number 39. We'll keep an eye on him tonight. Tyler Dalton in the number 19. We'll do the same with him. Pedro Mojica in the 58. Hamish Gallagher in the 22. Derek Myers in the 23. Richard Beasley in the 10. Richard Swaverly in the 32. We'll keep an eye on all the playoff guys. We'll be keeping a close eye on the guys that need to get a good finish here tonight. We're coming to the start-finish line. The green flag is being waved, and Daniel Falkingham leads them away here at Chicagoland.
Falkingham drives his truck out to lead, but he's got a trunk full of Justin Fuller. The Bojangles truck is all over the back bumper of that 39, and these guys are playoff contenders. Fuller looking to the outside, already looking to try to challenge the lead. He'll try to get to the quarter panel of that 39. It won't happen this time. He'll have to tuck in line behind them. They are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, all behind them as Daniel Falkingham starts to save a little bit and starts moving away from Fuller, getting safe as they make their way down the back straightaway. Here they go.
Falkingham trying to hold off Fuller. Behind him, you got Ryan Howard being targeted by by Tyler Dalton. Hamish Gallagher jumping to the inside there behind them. He's trying to move himself up the field a little bit. That black and pink, number 22, the Taylor Swift Big Machine Records down the front stretch to the inside of Tyler Dalton. Hamish Gallagher with a very important pass here just 3 laps into this race. Goes to the inside of the 19, going to complete the slide job off of 2 and put himself into 4th position. Hamish Gallagher on the move here early on.
Hamish Gallagher
battle
trying to
for
make
the
some
lead off into 3.
Oh.
Justin Fuller is going to go down to the inside of Daniel Falkenham with a good pass there to the inside, and he's going to drive away on the exit of 4. We'll take a look and show you exactly what happened there because we did miss it down the backstretch here. Justin Fuller dove to the inside. Daniel Falkenham said, hey, it's 4 laps in. It's a little too early. I'm going to hit the brakes, let you have it, and you can drive on away, buddy. Go ruin your tires.
That may be true. Who knows? Although Fuller's not usually that bad with saving tires, but he is leading, and that usually is going to put a little pressure on those tires a little bit more than you want them to have on them. We're going to watch back the guy that usually is not in favor of saving his tires, and we see him dropping back there as Tyler Dalton has fallen back to 7th position.
Yeah, Tyler has fallen back to 7th, he's coming under attack by defending series champion Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan knows he has 4 weeks left to say he's the defending series champion. He really wants to put every single second of that to his to credit and be able to say, listen, I might not have been able to defend my title, but I at least put up a heck of a fight. Tommy Ryan trying to take that 7th position away from Tyler Dalton, but Derek Myers now coming under attack from Tyler Dalton. Behind them, Mike Kelly moving his way through the field. He started back in 14th. He's gone himself all the way up to 10th. He went to the inside of Mike Montesi through 1 and 2 and has moved himself into that 10th position.
And Mike, all he has to do is just have a good finish tonight, and he'll move right along. Mike Kelly, we've talked about him so many times throughout the season. A consistent driver that had some bad luck early on, but now has regained that consistency and hoping to have a great night tonight, so he moves along. As long as he runs where he is now, he is fine, but we've got a lot of racing left to go. 7 laps in out of 120 laps in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series on the Ghost Fire Media Network. As we see Mike Kelly trying to maybe grab another position, but as of yet, he's going to tuck in behind the number 8.
That he will. He's going to tuck in behind him. We've got racing all over this beautiful racetrack, though. I mean, you got the 2-3 lanes starting to work a little bit here. Looking at Jeff Ryan in the 16th position. He started 19th, has moved his way up past Chris Stewart, Richard Swaverly, Bentley Glazer. Stoney Benfield started in 9th all the way back here in the 75, all the way back to 20th. He has fallen like a rock here early on. We'll keep an eye on that machine. Back towards the front, though, you see the battle for the lead continues. Daniel Falkenham trying to put a little bit of pressure on the back of that number 51 of Justin Fuller.
And you see Pedro Mojica as well. Pedro was quite a ways back there for a while. He was back around 10th or so, and now he is made up ground, is running right behind Daniel Falkenham. So we've actually got a 5-truck breakaway now with Fuller out front, followed by the Daniel Falkenham, Pedro Mojica, and I can't see who that 30 is. It 33 back there, and I know Hamish Gallagher is back there because you can't miss his truck. So that's your 5-truck breakaway as they're separating themselves from the rest of the field, trying to get a little breathing room as they go down the Brant straightaway, the back straightaway that is. Speaking of Rick Brandt, who owns that company, if he's out there listening, I would just want to say I'm sorry about what happened to your house and your bar in Fort Myers. Unfortunately, he sustained major damage to all of his properties here in Florida. So, fortunately for the Brandt family, they've had a terrible couple weeks, at least for homesteads.
They will be able to bounce back, though. They have the funds and the means, but there are plenty of people currently in Florida that don't have the funds or the means and are relying on the state of Florida and the federal government to assist them.
And they are quick.
This is a call to arms for the state of Florida. You better help your damn citizens, okay?
Oh, trust me, they are. I had a friend come into a bank today who applied for his FEMA money just a few days ago, and he's already got it. So they are right there helping them. So hats off to the state of Florida for that. So Fuller is your leader after 12 laps, followed by Falkingham, Mojica, Howard, and Gallagher. The 5-truck breakaway as we see them just nose to tail early on in this race. It's pretty much nose to tail behind them.
It is throughout the entire field.
Yeah, they've separated themselves by at least 12 truck lengths till we get back to that rest of the field.
The trucks are doing the same thing they do at every mile and a half here. They go single file down the straightaway. They fan out in the corner. They run 3 different lanes. And they jump back behind each other in the corners. There's no difference here than what you see in every other racetrack for the Camping World Truck Series machines. And the Transervice trucks here tonight are doing the same thing that they do with the Camping World Truck Series. It's consistent in the exact same way as you would see it on Friday and Thursday nights.
Absolutely. It looks very similar to what we would see.
It's one of the things that I hate about this package. And then they're going to tweak it. Obviously, this is the first year of a new generation of trucks, but they're going to tweak it. It's just going to come with time. But, man, I want better racing. I want 2-3 wide. I want people running up against the wall here at Chicagoland. This is the reason this track is dead.
Yeah. I would agree. That's why there's nobody showing up for these races.
Yeah. But this is the reason that Chicagoland itself is dead.
Yeah.
The way this track drives. It's not conducive to entertainment for the driver or the fan. It's just one of those tracks.
Could you imagine if they had this race on Purge Law all day there in Illinois? People could shoot at the drivers as they go by.
Surprised it doesn't already happen.
Oh, my God.
Randy, I wanted to talk about a couple of things while we see these guys going around. Keys to the race here tonight. Obviously, if you're a playoff driver, avoid the others' mistakes. You're here at the beautiful Chicago. Well, not beautiful. It's Chicago. Stay far away. But you're at Chicagoland Speedway tonight. 1.53 miles. 123-degree track temperature here this evening. It's a hot one. It's been baking in the sun all day. We're 662 feet above sea level here in, I wouldn't say beautiful, but it's Joliet, Illinois. There's not much beautiful about it.
There's a good prison there.
Well, yeah.
So you got that going for you.
You got that going for you if you live in Joliet, Illinois. There you go. You got a dead racetrack and a beautiful prison. Congratulations. That's something you want to talk about. Hey, listen, you know what I got? You know what helps my property values? This amazing prison 5 miles down the street from my house that holds 400 inmates. If there's ever a jailbreak, they're coming to my house first.
It's not as good to be a jailbreak.
Hey, if I disappear, it's the governor of the state of Illinois, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're definitely not getting sponsored by the state of Illinois, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. They can tell we don't care for the state. But.
I don't know which one I like less, Chicago or Miami, but I'll tell you, they both stink.
Yeah, well, Miami's not really part of anything. They're part of a whole nother state. A whole country, actually.
Miami seceded from the state of Florida and then from the Union.
Yeah, they that is why Key West has been trying to break away for a long time. They want to be their own little entity, but unfortunately the state of Florida won't let them go.
Randy, we've been throwing things out there. We've been having a little bit of fun here, but look at this pack that's began to be created here. The top 8 have fallen under each other. E.J. O'Rourke, who started back in 13th, is now up to 11th. He just passed the 43 at Doug Roth, who's fallen like a rock currently through the field, but he had moved himself all the way up to 9th at one point, had Doug Roth. Now he's back to 12th. He's going to lose another spot to Glenn Campbell, go back to 13th. Doug Roth going to let the 44 on through. The 44 going to get up on that back bumper, the 41 through 1 and 2. Maybe make a move here. Randy, what time is it?
Is it time for Digger Cam?
It is time for Digger to run away in turn 1. Get ready, Digger. We're coming to see you. Down through the start-finish line, off into turn 1 here. Digger, look out! Whoa. Ruh-roh! goodness.
dead.
I'm glad he put his head away. I'm glad he hid. Holy schmoly, that could have been bad.
It could have been really bad.
No animals were hurt in the making of this broadcast, okay, Peter?
Yeah.
Calm down.
Digger survived. Yeah. So that truck, the 5-truck breakaway now is become...
Turned into about 10.
Yeah, it's not quite that many, but it is.
Yo! It's
5,
about
6,
9
7,
trucks.
8. Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
my
9.
goodness.
As Mike Kelly is going to catch up here shortly.
Imagine being like a squirrel or something that's like standing on the bottom of the track. Man alive, that would be scary.
Imagine that deer that ran across the track at Pocono and got nailed.
He didn't feel any of them.
I don't think anybody saw that coming. So.
That's the easiest 10-point buck anybody's ever got in their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Justin Fuller
Yeah.
coming under a little bit of distress from Daniel Fockingham. 23 laps in. Had 2 leaders this evening, Justin Fuller, Daniel Fockingham. Both of them have now driven a little bit away from the field. We're going to take a side-by-side commercial break. You're not going to miss a second of the action here in the Ghost Fire Media Network, presented by Transervice Trucks.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Nothing has changed. Justin Fuller still leads the field here at Chicagoland in the Transervice Truck Series Sim500 League here on the Ghostfire Media Network. You got me, Randy Pepper, alongside Nick Adams. And Nick, I tell you what, these guys are just running a conga line. I'm telling you, this is better than some of the conga lines I've seen on the Carnival cruise ships.
Well, honestly, I would agree. We are seeing some conga lines. Take a look here at Justin Fuller. Look at that number 51, Justin Fuller. Folks, if you see different graphics come up throughout the evening, it's because I'm playing with all the new things we have. We're trying to make some adjustments to the way we bring the races to you here at Ghostfire Media. And the way I'm going to do that is by learning.
Trial and error.
It's by learning, to be quite honest with you. So
that's right.
As I learn, I guess you guys will see the
new fun stuff. I'm watching Daniel Falkingham here, and it does look like he may be getting a little impatient. He might be searching for a line to try to figure out how to get around Justin Fuller. I've seen him searching. So is Falkingham getting impatient, wants to lead once again, or is he going to hang out? But it does appear from my vantage point that he is searching, looking for a little speed.
Is that what you think?
I think so. I do. I've watched him over the last few laps, and his line has changed. Now it's kind of back to where it was, but I think he was searching. And that's the kind of driver he is. He's not a guy that's going to sit back there and just twiddle his thumbs. He's going to search the whole time, and he's thinking. He's definitely a thinker of a driver. I think Pedro Mejica is one of those guys that just ready to go.
I would agree. I would tend to agree with you. I usually agree with you on a lot of things, and this is something I would also agree with you on here.
As you just look at him, see, it looks like Fuller and Mojica are running pretty much identical lines, but Falkingham is definitely running a different line. It's just a little different, but it is different. Most of the time you'll see drivers that'll just suck up behind the other driver and draft, but Falkingham is not doing that. He is in certain parts of the track, but in other parts he is a little higher in some parts. Sometimes he's a little lower. Like down the front straightaway here, he's kind of running the same line. But as we get down here, he dives a little bit lower. He gains a little momentum to get closer to Fuller, but he's just a hair lower. And then I believe he'll probably follow again. But as we get down here again, see, he's starting to go a little deeper, a little higher up on the track than he was before. So he's searching. There's no doubt about it. Maybe he's searching for later. Maybe not now, but he may be searching for later. But as the race goes on, the track is going to change. So how much is that going to help him? I don't know.
Well, Randy, you talk to everybody about that for 1 minute so I can do some.
All right, you have fun. As we watch Falkingham, now if you watch him and watch what I'm saying here, he's going to go a little higher this time. He's drifting a little higher. Now he'll pull it down. He'll drift up and try to suck up to the back of Fuller's truck. And he's going to drop, but he's just a hair lower. He's got something. He's either trying to get the fresh air on the front of that truck, and this time he gets a good run, but see, he runs higher. Either he is playing around with the air, or he's possibly having a push issue. I don't think so. I think he's actually, as we watch him, he's definitely searching. He's looking high and looking low, trying to find a way to get around Fuller. This time he's right on the back bumper. He gets a little lower than Fuller, but tucks it back behind. Now he's to the bottom of the track. Now he'll tuck right behind him. He'll drift high. He'll run it out to the a little farther out, and he's going to bring it down, and that way he'll get a good run going down the back straightaway. and that way maybe in turn 3 and 4 he might be able to get around him. We'll see. It looks like he's just going to sit back there. So the time is not right, but I think he has found something, and he's just waiting for that perfect moment. 40 laps in the race of 120 laps. Pit stops should be happening probably within the next 10 laps, I would imagine. I think we'll see some pit stops within the next 10.
You see some guys on pit road now.
Yeah. Okay, so I was correct. You can see that graph. I can't see that.
Where's
I do
Chad
not
Coleman?
have that. Huh?
Chad Coleman on the track. Chad Coleman's not here.
Chad Coleman is not here.
Neither is Scott Simley. There's your first 2 eliminations.
All right, so there's 2. I believe they probably already knew that their day was over. So they had decided they didn't have to show up. Although I'm kind of surprised that Simley didn't come to at least try to help Mike Kelly.
All right, so this was the points as of 2 laps ago. Let me add Justin Fuller's point for leading the most laps so far. And Daniel Fockingham's point for leading laps. And these are your points as they sit right now. Daniel Fockingham, with everything he's done so far tonight, would still be out of the playoffs.
Wow. Mojica would just barely be in.
Justin Fuller, Ryan Howard, Derek Myers, Mike Kelly would all be locked in. Tyler Dalton would squeeze his way in. Pedro Mojica would be in by 5 points. So Daniel Fockingham needs Pedro Mojica to finish 5 spots or more behind him. This is going to be tough. I mean, Fockingham's going to need to win, and then he's going to need Mojica to finish 4th or worse to be able to get ahead of him tonight. This is going to get interesting as the night goes along.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I would almost lock Justin Fuller in now unless something bad happens to him throughout the race. But that's the points as we run now. And this is the points before the race. Again, let's take a look, right? This is what it looked like before the race. You see the movement we've had throughout the evening. And this is what they look like now. So big changes throughout the evening. Fuller's jumped 2 spots. Myers has jumped a spot. Kelly's dropped 2. Daniel Fockingham's jumped 2 spots. But it still hasn't been enough. He still needs another 5 points. Mojica has actually battled his way into the playoffs at this moment in time. So we'll update these points after the pit stop cycle goes through. We'll kind of talk about where we are on where we are in that at the moment in time. But currently, it's going to be really, really rough for a lot of these guys, like Daniel Fockingham, to point his way into the playoffs. Yeah,
and if he's sitting there second for the ends up second, and Pedro ends up 3rd or 4th, yeah.
Just a quick
night is
update
over.
On the sports puck hockey, greatest sport in the world. Boston Bruins just won 5-2 over the Washington Capitals. Good way to start the year. Good job, Linus Ullmark. Welcome back, Krejci.
What? Who?
The goalie for the Boston Bruins, Linus Ullmark.
Linus? Did he bring his blanket with him?
Good job, Linus. Also, awesome job, Kretsch. Welcome back. 2 assists. Bergeron with a goal. Hell of a game from Linus Ullmark. 33 saves and 35 shots. Back to NASCAR. That's what we get paid to do. So far, we've had everybody from 11th on back pit here this evening. From 10th on up here, they've stayed out through 47 laps. We currently have a couple of trucks getting ready to come down pit road. Justin Mons is on pit road now in the 10th position. Justin Fuller almost got rear-ended. Whoa, Mama Mia!
Man, he got that thing slowed down in a hurry, too.
He got it woed. Yeah, he got it woed down pretty good. Good job by Justin Fuller.
See how quick his pit stop is.
I'm going to guess about 15 and a half seconds. That's what we've seen as the average so far tonight. It's about 15 and a half. He's not. I don't think he's in no danger of losing second position. It's just going to be about how fast he can get out and if he can stay ahead of Daniel Falkenham. That's going to be the question. Did Falkenham save enough to be able to go out there on this last lap here, put down a fast one? Falkenham comes in.
Yep.
He gets his tires. The key point to this now, Pedro Mojica just stayed out. Led
just
a lap.
To get the point. Yeah.
That gives Pedro Mojica a bonus point, which puts him another point ahead of Daniel Falkenham. So this is going to change as the evening goes along. We're going to keep you up to date. I'm going to keep updating these points as the night goes along here, everybody. But man, oh man, this is going to be interesting. Hamish Gallagher, is he going to stay out? No, he's not. He will not stay out. He doesn't believe the one singular point is going to help him enough. He wants to come in and get tires and do his thing. Daniel Falkenham, did he jump Justin Fuller is the question. He might have on the exit of 2. Fuller's going to get him. But Tyler Dalton jumped Justin Fuller. E.J. O'Rourke jumped Justin Fuller. Ryan Howard and Tommy Ryan all jumped Justin Fuller. Ryan Howard's going to get a bonus point. A well-needed bonus point to help him lock himself further into the playoffs. And now, let's update the points again. Give me 1 minute here, Randall.
All right, I'm giving you time. As we're watching the field sort itself out. Howard now leading over Ryan, Dalton, O'Rourke, and Fuller settling back in the 5th position now after pitting while leading. Howard was pretty much solidly in the playoffs already, but getting these bonus points is definitely going to help his position of making it to the next round. And that North Carolina 811, or is that the Virginia 811? I believe that's Virginia 811 on the side of that. Remember, if you're going to dig, know before you dig. Call the VA 811. Or check out va811.com for all the information you need before you dig. We didn't have to worry too much about the digging here in Florida because there's so many power lines. A lot of us did not get power back for many, many days. I actually talked to a guy today. I've talked to a lot of people today, but I talked to a guy today, and he said that he just got power back yesterday. So imagine that. Hurricane Ian went through here almost 2 weeks ago, and he just got his power back.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, so actually Hurricane Ian started coming through here 2 weeks ago tonight because we were on the air when it was starting to come my way. So it was inland or already destroying Fort Myers at this point in Naples. So, yeah, man. It was funny. I actually asked a lady across the street from me. Her and her husband just moved here from Michigan. And I said, well, how do you think a hurricane compares to a snowstorm, a northeaster? She said, this was by far way scarier. She goes, northeaster is nothing compared to this. I was like, really? She goes, yeah.
Yeah, nor'easter is just some snow. It's not really that big of a deal.
She said, yeah, it's windy and we got a lot of snow.
Okay.
And she goes, but this is crazy. All right, let's look at these points.
We have updated points. Son of a bitch.
No, we haven't.
Yeah,
not yet.
Falkenham just went up a spot. Hold on. Okay,
let's do it
we
again.
have updated points now until somebody moves another spot. But this is how they were running as they crossed the start-finish line last time. It's changed again. Kind of. Not really. The same 6 guys are in. Ryan Howard, Justin Fuller, Mike Kelly, Tyler Dalton, Derek Myers, Pedro Mojica. Mojica Now 2 points ahead of Daniel Foggenham, but he has that most important
Point.
Pedro Mojica has that most important bonus point for putting himself in a lead for a lap, which has given him now the ability to finish 3 spots behind Daniel Fockingham and still be 2 points ahead. So now he can finish 5 spots behind Fockingham and still beat Fockingham out.
Yeah.
So that staying out 1 lap has been key. And this is with Justin Fuller getting max points for extra lead laps. If we just adjust, hold on. If I adjust for the winner's bonus points, obviously all it's going to do is give Ryan Howard an extra 3 and make him at 31-30. So it's just going to lock him further in, and that's with him winning. We won't know that until after the evening. But currently that's where we sit. The cutoff line is right there. It's a 2-point battle between Mojica and Mojica. Actually now Daniel Fockingham just gained another spot, took a spot away from Tyler Dalton. So give me 1 second here. This goes to 40. This goes to 41. No, this goes to 39. This goes to 40. This goes to 38. And now there's your updated point standings. It's 1 singular point. Daniel Fockingham has now passed Tommy Ryan.
So now they're tied.
And I need to look at who has more wins this year. I think I know the answer to that question. But I want to be sure. Give me 2 seconds. Standings. Wins. Daniel Fockingham has 6. Pedro Mojica has 4. If it was to come down to a tiebreaker, it goes to Daniel Fockingham. Pedro Mojica just needs to make up 1 spot. That's all Pedro needs to do.
He's trying to right now.
So this is the battle. We're going to watch this battle very close tonight, folks. I mean, I understand everybody wants to see who's leading and winning. We'll keep an eye on Ryan Howard and Justin Fuller as that battle comes along. That's not where the race is right now, though. The race is Pedro Mojica has done it. He's gotten ahead of Derek Myers. That puts him 1 point ahead of Daniel Fockingham.
The bad news is we're only halfway through this race.
But the problem is now for Pedro Mojica, look where Daniel Fockingham is. He's right in the battle for the lead. If he wins this race, it changes the entire event for Pedro Mojica. If he gets into second, it changes the entire event. If he gets into the lead, it changes the entire event.
Yeah.
Pedro Mojica needs to find Tyler Dalton and get past him. Then he needs to get to Tommy Ryan and get past him, and then that might put him safe. There's a lot of changes that are going to happen to these playoff points, though, throughout the rest of the evening. I'll give you guys another update on lap 80 of where we are with the playoff points. But right now, let's get back to the action, Randy.
Yeah, we got a good battle for the lead right now as Justin Fuller is pulled down to the bottom of the track to try to get around Howard. He's going to bring Daniel Fockingham with him. Fockingham looking the inside of Fuller, thinking about maybe. Now he's going to look in the middle, make it 3 wide.
They're 3 wide into 3. Here it comes. This could be the moment. If anything bad happens, Fuller gets loose. Fockingham gets tight. Somebody tries a slide jump. They might not be able to complete. Fockingham all over Fuller. They make contact down the front stretch. Justin Fuller's going to lead. Fockingham to second. Howard to third. Mojica has moved his way to 5th.
Unbelievable driving by Fockingham and Fuller.
Fockingham is throwing everything he has at this, but it might not be enough. If Mojica can move himself to 4th and Ryan Howard continues to fall, no matter what Daniel Fockingham does, it won't be enough.
Yeah, and you can see Mojica into the picture now. He is gaining on them, and he's going to be right behind Howard here shortly, and that, like you said, it's not going to matter what Daniel Fockingham does. Doesn't matter a thing at all. So, but Daniel Fockingham, you got to give it to him. He's definitely giving it all, and trying to make things happen tonight. 65 laps down. We got 120 will make up the race tonight. And after this one, we will see who moves on as we watch this close battle with points between Daniel Falkingham and Pedro Mojica, because that is a cutoff line. We keep talking about it, we keep stressing this, but this is the real battle. It's not about who wins this race. It's about who finishes and makes it to the round of 6. And that's where the line is, Falkingham and Mojica right now. Falkingham has kind of settled down. He sits one truck length back behind Fuller. I think he saw that things got a little hairy there, and he could have ruined his whole night very easily by trying to stick it 3 wide there for a little while. Now the truck lead is now 1.5 trucks for Fuller. Mojica has settled down. He's about 1.2 seconds, actually he's actually is, looking at the time, he is gaining on Howard.
Okay, so I said I would do it on lap 82. I lied. I'm doing it now. Updated as they run again, Randy. It's 1 point to the good for Pedro Mojica. It doesn't matter what Daniel Falkingham does. If Mojica stays 2 spots, here's the thing though. If Falkingham wins this race, Pedro Mojica needs to finish 2nd. That's where he's at. If Daniel Falkingham wins, it gives him an extra 3 bonus points on top of the 43. So he gets 47 because he leads the lap and wins the race. He can no longer get led the most laps. So the 2nd bonus point for Daniel Falkingham is off the table. So now it's about the only way he knows he's guaranteed a shot at the round of 6 is by winning this race. That's where he's at now. Ryan Howard, Mojica to the inside, down the front stretch. He's doing everything he can. He knows the situation he's in. He can just do what he can and put himself in a shot. And Randy, we can't count him out either. It is Chicagoland. It is 1.5 miles. This is where Mojica's been strong this year. We've been talking about him just kind of pointing his way in. He could go out there and win this race and put a stamp on this round of 12.
Yeah, he could. And so far, he has made up some major ground to get to where he is right now.
He's 0.2 of a lap, 0.2 of a second faster than the 2 leaders right now on this track. Mojica is not out of this by a long shot. I know we're talking about points, and we're very focused on that. But we can't forget that Pedro Mojica is a 4-time winner this year. And he's won at every type and style of track you can win at.
And he's our only two back-to-back race winner of the whole season.
Yeah, he's our only back-to-back race winner of the entire year. Falkingham didn't do that. Fuller didn't do it. Eidson didn't do it. Pedro Mojica in the 58, that Chevy Silverado in front of you without a sponsor, has the only one to do it this year. So you can't count him out.
No, by no means can you count this guy out. Fuller is starting to kind of build a little lead. He's now 2.5 truck lengths ahead of Falkingham. And that's got to hurt Falkingham because he doesn't have... the farther he gets back, the less draft he has to help Fuller pull him away from Mojica. So we'll have to watch that as Mojica is approaching them. He's getting closer. Not quite close enough. He's about probably 10 truck back behind them. Truck lengths, that is. But he is gaining slowly but surely. And neither one of these guys want to see him get up there and battle for this. As we watch the laps wind down, 73 of 120, now 74 of 120. Before we know it, that little score up there is going to say 25 laps to go. And that's when it's definitely go time for most of these guys. Slower truck getting in the way there. The 127 is definitely holding up our leaders. That allowed Daniel Falkingham to get right on the back bumper of the 51 of Fuller. They will clear that 127. Hopefully that 127 does not get in the way of Pedro Mojica. And
Here
learn
it
his-
comes,
here
the
comes
move to the
here's lead.
inside. Fockingham to the lead. Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not is correct. He's not done yet.
He's not done yet, but he is staying in second. So,
Yeah,
Randy,
see,
before
I
the
think
move
that truck
gets
pulled
done.
him up.
Yeah, before the move gets done, points as they run. Pedro Mojica has a 6-point gap to Daniel Fockingham now. He's one truck behind him.
So if Falkingham was to, so even if Falkingham won right now,
So let me give you, here's the scenarios, right? If Pedro Mojica finishes third, which is worth 41 points, he has 1 bonus point for leading a lap, which gives him 42 for the event. If Falkingham wins, Justin Fuller finishes second, and Falkingham gets the 3 bonus points to win, Pedro Mojica still sneaks his way in by 2 points. My calculations were incorrect. Mojica, where he is right now, it doesn't do anything for Daniel Fockingham if he wins this race.
oh, that just has to eat him up.
He knows he is sitting there and he's seeing the truck behind him. He's seeing exactly what he doesn't want to see, which is his championship rival to get into the round of 6. Less than a second behind him, just sitting there. All Mojica has to do now is chill out in third. And he goes to the round of 6.
Yeah.
He stays in the top 5. And he's in the round of 6.
That's got to be
That's the
frustrating.
situation. That's the situation that the playoffs bring. People don't like it. People love it. People hate it. It's going to be that way. But the thing about it is you cannot say that this does not bring entertainment and action to the track on a known as very boring Chicagoland race.
I was going to say, this race, as far as racing goes, this is not the most exciting race by any means. But the excitement is watching that points race between the 39 and the 58 right now. That's where the excitement is. And as long as we see Mojica sitting back there in third, it doesn't matter what that 39 does. Although now he dives to the bottom, he's going to be side by side with the 51 of Fuller, but Fuller's going to hold that outside groove and he pulls away. So that outside line just has a better, more momentum on the top groove. And that's got to frustrate Daniel Falkingham.
Oh, to no end. To no end. It's got to be one of the most frustrating things in the world right now watching this. And the thing is that, I'm going to continue to update the points as they go along this evening, but we are just slowly watching all of the wind come out of the sails of Daniel Fockingham.
But we still do have another pit stop that will happen here shortly. And once that happens, things could change again. So it's not over yet. And we see the 3 getting in the way of
Ryan
4.
Howard is in the pits. Ryan Howard has pit. The final round of pit stops is beginning, Randy. This is the moment. This is the moment for these drivers. The make it or break it championship pit stops happen now. Daniel Fockingham dives to the inside. He's trying to take the lead. He might just be trying to get himself set up for a good pit stop.
I think he's going to try to use the lap car as a pick.
It might
That's
not
what he's
mean
doing.
anything.
It might not, but I think he's looking down the track and he sees that car up there, the slower car, and I think he's thinking maybe I can use that truck.
He just can't do it, though. The inside it's not the line to make the pass.
No, it's not. Definitely not.
You've got to get to the outside. The problem is if you're on if you've got 2 trucks in the inside lane, you'll never get to the outside to make that move. But if you're to the inside, you don't get the drive off the corner to make the pass. It's just so difficult when the tires are even like they are now to make any moves here at the Chicagoland Raceway.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the things that put the nail in the coffin of Chicago, was the inability to pass. And we're seeing it tonight.
And they have, I have heard rumors of them trying to reconfigure this track.
I tell you how you reconfigure it. You drop a nuclear bomb right in the middle of it and get rid of it completely. It's just as it. Listen, it's just a bad spot for a racetrack. It's in the middle of nowhere in a field in Illinois. It makes no sense for the track to be where it is. The Chicago street circuit is going to be much more entertaining. It'll bring people around the world to come see it because it'll be the first time a Cup Series car is ever on a street circuit. That's a good idea. And it goes back to, and unintentionally, NASCAR created a racetrack that is on the place where the first ever motorsports race occurred. Unintentionally. They didn't know that. But the first ever motorsports race occurred in Chicago. They went 13 miles uphill, 13 miles downhill, 2 laps. Half the track that they are doing, one of the streets, one of the main straightaways, is one of the roads that was in the first ever motorsports competition.
That's pretty wild. And
that's unintentional.
And speaking of races, we've got Mojica approaching our leaders.
We do. Mojica has tires that are the same age as Daniel Fockenham, but he's done one thing that Fockenham hasn't had to do yet, and he wasn't having to battle anybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Everybody Mojica got to just kind of let him go.
No, it doesn't really matter. I at this point, I think Mojica's just kind of thinking the big picture. He just doesn't want to get himself in any trouble. If he doesn't have any problems, he doesn't spin, he doesn't crash, he doesn't fall outside the top 5, Pedro Mojica goes on to fight for a championship for the next 3 weeks. And Fockenham has finally got around
Daniel
Fuller, but
has
Fuller's
gone to
not
the
done
lead.
with him.
He is
Fuller's
not.
not
Fuller
done.
coming back to the outside. This is the best opportunity for a pass we've seen all night. The outside lane is where you want to be. You're going to get the better drive off. He's going to be a lane and a half up. He's going to get a big run down the backstretch. Will he pull to the inside, try to make that move off into 3? He's going to do it halfway down. He's going to slide off in there into 3 and 4. Fockenham's going to drive it off as hard as he can. He knows that his season relies on this move. They almost make contact on the exit of 4. Daniel Fockenham, Randy Pepper, has now done everything he physically can to get to the championship 6.
Yeah, he's definitely working at it. Yeah, as we see slower trucks just getting up there
Fresh
and getting in the middle of all this.
8th place,
Yeah,
Ryan Howard. He is going to cycle to be your leader. Because of how early he pit with those tires, he will cycle to be your leader by about 7 seconds. Now, he'll lose that lead over time to the new tires that come out. But Ryan Howard, who pitted on lap 82, will cycle to be your leader on 8-lap older tires currently than everybody else. And this is just gonna shake up where everybody is in the track. These earlier pit stops are just gonna shake up the points. I don't think they're gonna shake them up enough to really make a dent in who makes it into the championship 6. I think our championship 6, barring a late race caution and some calamity, is pretty much well set.
Yeah, I agree.
But Pedro Mojica is in an absolute firing zone right there. The lap down number 40 of Woods is trying to make his way around the leaders with his brand new tires. He put himself in between the 58 and the 51.
Oh my
and
gosh.
my good God, Pedro Mojica is in a bad spot here. This 40 truck needs to get going and get away from these guys. And Mojica, he sees another fast truck coming up behind him. It's going to be the 21.
And these trucks, so hopefully these guys understand that they are dealing with the
This
guys
is the
that are
battle
actually
for the
battling
win.
for the
Yeah.
points.
Justin Fuller slides up in front of the 21. My
Wow.
goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh. This
The
is
trust that you have to put in these other drivers who aren't normally up front right now is very key. It's very, very, very key. And Fuller gets past. Now Fockenham's going to be in the sights of the 21 of Burrell. My goodness. This is one of those situations.
This is nerve-wracking watching this.
Now, this is one of those situations. You're Daniel Fockenham. You just hope you don't get low. The 21 in the wall.
Oh.
Right behind the leader in front of the 51.
Oh my God.
And the 21 coming back down the track, trying to make sure his truck isn't destroyed. And he's going to try to drive it off into 1 here. And he's probably he's going to continue to try to get his lap back. But my goodness gracious.
Just let him go, guys. Let him go. It is not worth him wrecking your day.
Yeah, if I'm a crew chief right now, I'm sitting here going, listen, he's 2 laps down. Let him go on your outside. Get rid of him. Let him go. Here they come to pit lane.
Oh, they're pitting.
Oh, Mojica! Mojica almost. Is he going to make it? He's going to slow down. He's going to make it on the pit road. That could have been disastrous.
That could have been. It was
That
close.
could have been disastrous. I can officially announce that Justin Fuller has confirmed the 2 points. He will confirm 2 points here for leading the most laps.
And that'll pretty much sign his ticket to the next round.
I would all but guarantee that Justin Fuller is going to the round of 6 now.
Yeah.
There are a couple scenarios in which Justin Fuller doesn't make it, but those scenarios are few and far between what I'm looking at right now. He'd need to lose almost 15 points. So while those scenarios are not out of the realm of possibility, they are not something I'm looking at as a, if I'm going to say the Amazon percentage chance, Daniel Falkenham in pit road, 4 tires and fuel for the 39. Again, he's done everything he can tonight to get himself into the round of 6, and there's a chance he still doesn't make it. Ryan Howard does come out as your leader. Daniel Falkenham will cycle to be about 5th right now on the track. I'm not going to update you on points currently. We're going to wait for all of these pit stops to cycle through, everybody to get on the track, see where everybody is. Then we'll update the points and give you a full picture of exactly what we're looking at with about 30 laps, 25 to go now. And you see what I see, Randy Pepper? Daniel Falkenham comes on the track right in front of Justin Fuller. He does cycle out maybe to be the leader, but Fuller to the outside. Fuller through 3 and 4. Here comes Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller's going to overtake Daniel Falkenham. Falkenham on old tires. He needs to keep his eyes peeled because here comes his championship rival, Pedro Mojica, right behind him.
Yeah, Pedro's right there. Pedro is right behind him, sucking up, getting the draft off the back of the 39 and looking maybe to pass him. So
If he
Pedro
passes
Mojica
him, it puts the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting up behind Ryan now.
The
maybe
defending series champion Tommy Ryan going to be used as a pick here by Daniel Falkenham. Mojica didn't let it happen, though. He used him as a drafting partner down the front stretch. He's all over the back bumper of the 39. The regular season champion, Daniel Falkenham, could be looking at his last 24 laps of championship contention. It happened in the Cup Series with Kyle Larson. And it could happen here in the Transervice Truck Series with Daniel Falkenham.
Could happen. There are a lot of slower trucks around these guys right now. They, at any time, these guys could play spoilers for any of these drivers.
Any sort of mistake right now. Anything that gives the 58 damage or gives the 39 damage could be catastrophic to their championship hopes. 3 wide down the backstretch, right in front of Mojica. He's 3 wide with the 44 and the 21 off into 3.
He's not willing to let.
No, he's not going to let Daniel drive away because he knows how many points are at stake ahead of him. Because if you look out the front bumper of Daniel Falkenham right now, all he sees is a bunch of points. He sees enough points to get himself into the playoffs if Mojica can't pass these guys. That's what he sees. He sees an opportunity. And for a championship caliber driver like Daniel Falkenham, that's one of the situations that he wanted to see in front of him, was all these slower cars.
No.
He's going to go 3-4 wide through turn 3. My goodness, he split the middle. He gained 4 spots in turn 3. My goodness.
That was an unbelievable move, I have to admit.
That is why Daniel Falkenham is continuing to be a contender here. Any other driver would have been written off by now, but Daniel Falkenham, the opportunity lies right in front of him. He could do this. There are scenarios where this works for him. There are scenarios where Pedro Mojica still gets in, and other drivers do not, and Daniel Falkenham does.
Yes, there are.
The number one scenario we're looking at all night tonight is Pedro Mojica. But you look where Tyler Dalton is currently sitting on the track. He's sitting in 13th. You look where the number 10 of Richard Beasley is sitting, where the 32 of Richard Swavely is sitting. Hamish Gallagher might be in second, but he pitted very much earlier than these three drivers that we're looking at on track right now. He could be in trouble if he starts falling back. Ryan Howard is pretty much locked in, but Tyler Dalton needs to start moving his way up here, because as I begin to update these points, Randy Pepper, I'm looking at the 19 as being in really big trouble right now.
Oh, boy. Now we got to start thinking about the 19, who was looking like he was in pretty good shape before the race. Now may not be in cozy land for long. As you see Daniel Falkingham closing in on the back bumper of the 51 of Fuller, sucking up on the back end of that. He's about one truck length back behind him. They've got slower trucks in front of them. You see Hamish Gallagher, who's actually running second right now, but he is on those older tires, so they should be able to make pretty easy work of him. Fuller drives to the top of the track, bringing Falkingham with him. They'll work side by side to get around the Holyfield truck. They're looking to try to get around the second place truck of Gallagher. And look at the difference in speed. Those new tires and old tires, there's a huge advantage to having those new tires. They'll get around Gallagher and they'll move away from him. And Mojica now sits two trucks back behind the second and third place truck right now. He's actually just one truck back, as Holyfield is lapped down. Fuller trying to reel in Howard to try to take the lead once again, assume that position. Howard has led once before, and now he's leading now. He's 2.2 seconds ahead of the second and third place truck, but they are closing in slowly. Actually, they're a little faster than slowly. And Mojica was able to get around Gallagher, so now he sits once again behind Falkingham. 15 laps remain in the Transervice Truck Series Sim500 race tonight here at Chicagoland on the Ghost Fire Media Network. As they make their way down the Brant straightaway, Falkingham dives to the bottom. They're side by side for second. This could be the race here. If they catch Howard, this could be the race here. Falkingham side by side, lug nut to lug nut. But I believe Fuller has the preferred line on the outside as long as there's no one down there. Although Falkingham is making it stick down there this time. And I think he sees these trucks in front and he's going to try to use them as a pick.
Falkingham is leaving it all on the track now. He has 14 laps left in what could be the end of his season for a championship on the exit of 4. He's going to try to push the 51 up. He's not clear yet. He might do it in a 1 and 2 this time. Oh, they almost touch. They almost touch off in a 1.
They have trucks in front of them.
There it is. He's completed the pass.
He has made the pass.
But he hasn't. The 51 back to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide with a lapper off into 3. They touch. They bump. They bang into 3 here.
They are not done
and this
yet.
could be the
Howard
battle
right
for the win right in front of them. Tyler Dalton, sitting in 13th, needs to start moving. He knows. He can see what's happening on the leaderboard.
And I'm sure he's looking in his rearview mirror going, oh, my goodness.
Here he goes to the lead for the inside. 3 wide out of 2. Falkingham, Fuller, and Howard down the backstretch.
Fuller is not giving up, and neither is Howard. Howard now is starting to be a little bit more aggressive on that outside line, but he sees his hopes dash away as Fuller now has pulled up in front of him. Fuller dives to the bottom, and Falkingham blocks. He blocks.
Fuller tried Falkingham blocks again off into 1. Here they go side by side. Justin Fuller Justin Fuller knows this is an opportunity to eliminate the strongest driver in the regular season. But it's not going to happen this time. Randy Pepper, I'm going to show you the updated points. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Daniel Fockingham tied with Tyler Dalton right now as they run. Daniel Fockingham would win the tiebreaker, moving on to the round of 6. Glenn Campbell is Daniel Fockingham's best friend right now. Fockingham has done everything he can tonight. If Glenn Campbell gets back around the 19, Tyler Dalton's season could be over.
Oh my goodness.
My good God. It's not over yet. Fockingham, and that is with the 3 bonus points for winning the race, which is what Daniel Fockingham would get. He would tie with Tyler Dalton. No matter what else happens, if Fockingham wins this race and Dalton finishes above 11th, Tyler Dalton makes it to the round of 6. If Tyler Dalton finishes 12th or worse, if Daniel Fockingham wins this race, he goes to fight for a title.
And right now, Tyler Dalton is 12th.
We're going to take a look back at Tyler Dalton. He is fighting with Mike Kelly. How will this battle work out? If Tyler Dalton, he's got to be getting the news from his crew. If he can get past the 2, he can continue to fight for a title. Fockingham's season is out of his hands now.
And Tyler Dalton is working on it.
Dalton to the inside, Mike Kelly to the outside. Tyler Dalton has no damage. The 2 has some right side damage. Tyler Dalton moves his way to 11th. We're going to keep an eye on that battle. Mike Kelly could be Daniel Fockingham's best friend. 7 laps to go. And a championship opportunity hangs in the balance between Daniel Fockingham and Tyler Dalton.
Can Tyler Dalton make those tires last long enough so he makes it to the next round? That's the big
Pedro
key to
Mojica
this.
has moved into 2nd. Pedro Mojica is coming, Randy Pepper.
Oh, here comes Pedro.
Pedro has passed Justin Fuller. He's the fastest car on the track. It just doesn't end. It continues to get more and more intense.
And I'm sure Daniel Fockingham does not want to see that. Does not want to see that 58 being so fast and is approaching. It's kind of stagnant now, about 1.
Here comes E.J.
1
O'Rourke,
second
though.
back
E.J.
behind.
O'Rourke has passed the number 2. Could E.J. O'Rourke play spoiler? Mike Kelly's in the pits. Mike Kelly's in the pits. Oh,
wow.
my goodness. Randy. Oh, hold on. Never mind. Mike Kelly's not in the pits. I apologize. Hey,
Look,
SDK.
what?
SDK had a moment. It's because of the difference in where they are on the track. The location of these drivers is causing a few issues for SDK.
5 laps remaining. Daniel Fockingham now kind of settling out 1 second ahead of Pedro Mojica. We're watching that 11th place battle right now. Watching timing and scoring, making sure that Tyler Dalton doesn't have anything happen to him. And nothing happens to our leader right now, Fockingham, because he's the man on the bubble. We're trying to burst the bubble. Actually, Tyler Dalton is on the bubble, and Daniel Fockingham is trying to burst that bubble. 3 laps remain here at Chicagoland. Will Daniel Fockingham make it to the next round, or will he not? That is the big question. Will our winner go to the next round?
Here's our sitting point standings right now. Tyler Dalton has a 1-point lead over Daniel Fockingham. Wow. Mike Kelly is 2 points ahead of Daniel Fockingham.
Wow.
Anything happens to Mike Kelly or Tyler Dalton, Daniel Fockingham is in. The white flag on Daniel Fockingham's championship hopes is up for grabs now. 1.5 miles remains here in the round of 12. 1.5 miles remains in what could be the regular season champion being eliminated. Daniel Fockingham through 3 and 4. He has no issues. Daniel Fockingham will take his 7th win of the season. But the key point here is, what is Tyler Dalton back in 11th going to do? Tyler Dalton sits at 11th. Tyler Dalton on a turn 4. Tyler Dalton will go on to the championship 6. Mike Kelly will sneak through. Daniel Fockingham, your winner and your regular season champion, unofficially, as I wait for confirmation, is eliminated.
Wow. Unbelievable.
All points are unofficial, folks. All points are unofficial. Give me 30 seconds to confirm and confer. But where we have the official results, Daniel Fockingham did everything he could. But it doesn't matter.
He did do everything he could do, that's for sure.
He came into tonight 9 points out of the playoffs. He's going to leave tonight 1 point outside of the championship 6.
And at one point, he actually was in, and then he's out. Then
he was in, and then he was out. And then he was in, and then he was out.
Yeah.
I'm confirming for everybody. While we wait, we're going to pull up our 3rd place finisher, Justin Fuller, who we can confirm for you. Justin Fuller, if I can find him. Am I blind? I don't have Justin Fuller. We're going to pull up Pedro Mojica. Pedro Mojica, our 2nd place finisher. Pedro, it's Nick and Randy up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys. Yeah, gotcha.
Hey. Well, congratulations on a 2nd place finish. Everything we've seen points-wise so far says to us you are officially in the championship 6.
Yeah, I think that's right. I knew what I had to do coming into this race. I knew Daniel was going to be strong. He's really good here. We've had a lot of good races here. So I pretty much had worst case scenario having to finish 2nd if he won the race and led all laps. Fortunately, he didn't lead all the laps. He didn't lead most laps. I think Fuller got that. So that took a point away from him. And we were able to stay out 1 lap longer than him on that first run to lead a lap. So that really helped, I think, open that buffer to having to at least finish 4th. But yeah, man, I knew what I had to do. I knew what the assignment was, and I just made sure to keep Daniel in my sights and close.
You definitely kept him close. You'd run back. You were back like 3 trucks behind him, and then slowly but surely you would pick those trucks off and get back behind Daniel again, time after time. And you did everything you had to do. And congratulations on going to the next round.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was not the way we wanted to, have this round go. Talladega, the strategy just didn't work out. Richmond, we got screwed over with a late race restart after dominating that race. So shouldn't have come down to this, but I knew what I was capable of doing, what I am capable of doing. So I just had to go and execute, and we did that tonight. So yeah, glad to make it to the round of 6.
Yeah, you definitely. We were talking earlier, actually, on the broadcast that maybe you had premature peaked too soon, and because you were before the race started, you were out, you weren't there, and now you've come back, and maybe you're back to Mr. Consistent like you were earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, each round is different, man. Each round has its own challenges, and like I said, I mean, Talladega strategy was to just hang out till the end, and they never wrecked until literally right at the start finish line. So that backfired on us when that usually works 90% of the time. And then Richmond, I mean, unfortunate circumstances, dominate the whole race, and then late race yellow comes out. Daniel took two tires, kind of held me up and gave Fuller an opportunity, and then we were three wide, and me and Daniel got together and sent me from practically safely being in to being out. But I mean, like I said, I knew coming into this race what I had to do, and I knew I was capable of doing it. I know I'm good enough to run in the top three every week. So I just had to go and do that tonight, and we did it.
Awesome job, man. We will see you next week here on the broadcast and Ghost Fire Media. And good luck.
Yeah, no, thanks guys. I appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast. Ghost Fire Media, Transervice for sponsoring the series. It was a lot of fun, man. Like you say, this championship's gonna be a fun one to watch. And then all the admins at Sim500, thank you for what you guys do. And then everybody on Team Name had a good race. It was, I mean, we kept it light, but it was definitely a little bit more, a little bit more single-minded since we were all competing against each other for the last spot there. So, but hey, we have a good time in the end. So, appreciate those guys and good win to Daniel.
All right, man. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
All right. Daniel Foggenham, it's Nicky Adams and Randy Pepper up in the booth. You have a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, we've been waiting to get the official word. Before we congratulate you on your fantastic win, I mean, man, you did everything you could possibly do tonight. You knew what your target was. You knew how to get to that target and what you needed to do to finish that goal of getting to the championship 6. You had to go out there and win. You had to lead laps, and you had to get almost maximum points. Maximum points is probably what you needed. We're not sure yet. We're waiting for confirmation. As soon as I get confirmation, we can throw these points up on the screen here. We'll have confirmation. We'll be able to tell you exactly where you are. But, Daniel, while we wait, how was it out there tonight? How was that, win or go home mentality?
Definitely put a lot on my bag, and by the way, the points are updated, and I missed it by 1 point, so yeah, that's unfortunate. But, yeah, just did all I could, but just couldn't hold the lead on the start there, and Flora led most of the race, and that's ultimately what cost me. Didn't get the most laps led, which is unfortunate, but just so hard to defend when the first few laps is literally a draft fest and you can't hold the lead. So, and I didn't want to block that early. So, and then just trying to save my stuff, getting stuck in dirty air. So I had to go off strategy, try to go a lap longer on tires. Just yeah, of course the one freaking point I needed and I don't get it and it cost me. So, oh well, it's unfortunate. If I didn't get wrecked 3 times at Richmond, wouldn't have been an issue anyway. So anyway, that's how the cookies crumble. 2 years in a row. One wreck takes me out of any shot of a championship. So it's unfortunate, but guess that's how the cookies crumble sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they do not fall the way you want them to, and you did it. You had a great season. I mean, and to this point, so you won to this point. You had 7 wins. That's a hell of a lot of wins. The crazy thing is, you aren't moving on to that next round, which is kind of crazy. The guy that has the most amount of wins is the guy that's going home tonight with not being moved on to the next round. So
yeah, well,
unfortunate.
that's what one bad race does you in. I mean, I can't help. I got wrecked 3 separate times at Richmond. So
Well, yeah.
just like I said, one of them deals. But we still got the Monday night deal to get, and I don't think there is even anything for a championship in the trucks anyway. So at least my Wednesday nights are free now, so I don't have to keep running this. But at least I
That
got
was my
the,
next question. I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you, were you going to keep running, or are you going to just go off and do something else?
I don't know. I might show up for the final 3 just to finish off the season and whatnot. But I mean, we'll see. If you see me here next week, then you'll know the answer. But well, guess I now get to put my focus on Monday night, where there's, I guess, actual money being paid out. So yeah, we'll just go win the Monday night deal, and we'll go from there. Because I'm not guaranteed I'll be here next year. So I mean, these next 2 months of racing over in the Contender Series are going to decide my fate in Sim500. So
Oh, okay.
Would like to be back to try to get a truck championship because I definitely feel like I'm good enough to definitely get one, but just 2 years in a row the cars don't fall our way again. So like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, thank those sponsors that helped you get this far.
Yeah, I just gotta thank First Aid Labs 207 for all their support. Also, January 31st. I gotta thank everyone who puts on the show Sim500, all the admins, everyone who races each every week, Transervice putting on the series, everyone at a team name, Pedro, Beasley, Parker, all them guys over there. Gotta thank you guys put on the broadcast. Thanks everyone at North Force Racing, Preston Gilson, Vince Marsh, everyone else over there, all my teammates. Getting ready for the Contender Series starting up within the next month. So ready to get to the grind on that, see if we can go make Coke next year. But yeah, thanks to all those guys over there for letting me come do this. Thanks, like I said, thanks to you guys again for the broadcast. Thanks to all the fans who watch, Cosmin for painting up my cars, and all my friends and family for watching.
There you go. All right, man. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And congratulations on another win.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Hate we didn't make it, but of course, if I were to miss it, of course it would be 1 point. So that'd be just my luck. But we'll pull for Pedro here. Hopefully Pedro can go get it. I definitely feel like he's one. He's gonna be a front runner. He's gonna be someone to be dealt with. So hopefully Pedro can go bring this thing home.
All right. Congratulations again. We'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks, fellas.
Well, Randy Pepper, it's official.
It is official.
We have our 6 finalists for the 2022 Sim500 Transervice Truck Series Championship Finale. 3 races. Across 3 weeks, the top 6 drivers in the playoffs will battle for immortality to be the 2022 Sim500 Transervice Truck Series champion. It begins next Wednesday, October the 19th at Martinsville Speedway. Short track Wednesday night. And then it moves to Homestead Miami Speedway. 1.5 miles. A speedway where Pedro Mojica is probably the favorite to go out there and win. And then we go to Phoenix. Randy, Phoenix is a lot like Richmond. It's a lot like Worldwide Technology Raceway. The winner at Richmond, Justin Fuller, championship contender. The winner at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Daniel Fockingham, on the outside looking in. Daniel Fockingham would like nothing more than to at least go out and play spoiler in his last race of the season. Depending on what happens in the Contender Series, it could be Daniel's final race on Wednesdays in the trucks.
Yeah.
Now, while I'm sure everybody in Sim500 would be absolutely devastated to see Daniel Fockingham go because he is a staple and a fantastic person, and I love talking to him every Wednesday night. It seems like we talk to him almost every week, Randy.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would be upset if Daniel Fockingham got to go live the dream of so many sim races and be able to race in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing. The Coca-Cola iRacing NASCAR. What is it? It's the. Hold on. Let me say it right. The eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. I don't think anybody would be upset if Daniel was able to do that next year, like so many of us sim racers dream to be able to do one day. Now, that being said, Randy Pepper, our 6 championship finalists. Getting in by 1 point, Tyler Dalton. By 3 points, Pedro Mojica. By 4 points, Mike Kelly. By 6 points, Derek Myers. Justin Fuller and Ryan Howard round out your top 6. This is what it's all about, Randy. The next 3 weeks, these 6 guys. Who's your pick of these 6 drivers, Randy Pepper?
Gosh.
Do you not have a pick?
I do, but I'm stuck between 2 guys. I really am. I'm
you
stuck
want me to
between.
say mine first?
Yeah, go ahead and say yours. And
I'm going to stick to the course. I said it 3 weeks ago when he came out and he won a race in the playoffs, and then he won another one. Pedro Mojica. He battled so hard to get to the final 6. He did everything he could. He knew what his goal was, where he had to be to get into the final 6. He did exactly that. He did everything tonight but go out and win the race. Pedro Mojica is going to be your 2022 Series champion.
And I agree with you. I think Pedro will be the man, and I think his biggest nemesis is going to be Justin Fuller.
You know what's great about 3 weeks of racing, Randy Pepper? Anything and everything will happen.
Absolutely.
Heartbreak will occur. Ecstasy will come for these drivers. Everybody is going to feel a very specific way in 3 weeks. At the end of Phoenix, you're going to have one guy who's ecstatic and 5 guys who are heartbroken. And that's what's great about racing. It's a true team sport, though.
Absolutely. And you can, just saying that, you could hear the disappointment in Daniel Falkingham's voice.
Oh, without a doubt, you could hear the heartbreak, the sadness, and all of the hard work that he's put in this year comes down to an incident at Richmond last week where he loses 1 point, going 3 laps down, loses 1 point, and is unable to get into the championship 6 by that 1 point.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's what these playoffs have done. They have brought to us a level of drama and a level of showmanship here unbeknownst seen in the NASCAR world. But Randy Pepper, we had a race here tonight. We had a heck of a race. For Chicagoland.
We did have a very good race. Yeah, it actually was a very good race.
This was great.
We had a lull at one point, but it actually ended up being a very good race.
It was, and here are your final results for tonight's race here at Chicagoland Speedway. Daniel Falkingham comes home with his 7th win, 1 point short of the final 6, though. Pedro Mojica does everything he can, battles up there, finishes 2nd. Justin Fuller 3rd, Ryan Howard 4th, Hamish Gallagher. Heartbreak for the Australian. He's going to finish 5th tonight. Not make it to the final 6. Derek Myers. I believe Derek Myers is in there.
He actually is.
Derek Myers is in the final 6. Josh Parker in 7th, a man who we thought would be a championship contender. Was not. Tommy Ryan in 8th, the defending series champion, eliminated in the last round. 3 very big names eliminated in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs this year. Randy Pepper, Trey Eidson, Tommy Ryan, E.J. O'Rourke, and Daniel Falkingham.
Yeah,
back in 10th.
Guys that we thought for sure all 4 of those guys were definitely going to be there.
100%. I thought those were going to be 4 of the 6. They were in my championship 6. Back in 9th, Bentley Glazier. 10th, Chuck Sweeting. 11th, Tyler Dalton sneaks his way in by 1 point. Finishing ahead of Glenn Campbell in 12th. Mike Kelly. If he would have lost 2 more spots, the championship grace and hope would have been over for the number 2. He finishes 13th. Justin Mons in 14th. Richard Beasley 15th. The Tide Ride. Richard Beasley did everything he could this year to get to the championship 6th. It just was not in the cards for him. E.J. O'Rourke in 16th. Doug Roth 17th. Richard Swavely, same thing. Did everything he could. Outlasted expectations. Got out of the round of 12. Gets into out of the round of 16. Into the round of 12. All the way here. Gets to this race with a shot to get to the round of 6. He's going to come just short. But a great race for Richard Swavely coming home in 18th. Chris Sawyer 19th. Stoney Benfield 20th. Brian Wertman 21st. Charles Woods 22nd. Jeff Ryan 23rd. Kevin England 24th. Ed Burrell 25th. Ron Holyfield in 26th. Doug Sigmund 27th. Mike Montesi 28th. Randy Yoakum 29th. And rounding out the field in 30th, Dwight Beverly. Randy, we have done this now for 23 weeks. Sorry, 24 weeks. Then you count the winter series. That was another 20 weeks. You count all the other things we've done, Randy Pepper. I can tell you without a doubt, in my entire time broadcasting here with Ghost Fire Media, this championship battle is the best one I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, I would agree. I totally agree with that. We've never had one quite this tight and this exciting. Out of all the broadcasts we've done with all the different leagues that we've worked with, this is definitely by far the best. And I mean, we only have 3 more races left. Actually, I only have 2.
You only have 2.
I
At
have 2
Phoenix,
races.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm working on getting us a surprise guest to work with me on that Wednesday night. Last year, I ended the season with Justin Anderson.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm able to do that again. I might have a pretty big name. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I'm trying to see what I can do. A pretty good friend of mine, pretty big name in the NASCAR world. See what we can do. Randy Pepper's putting out a couple of feelers. We might get a big name in here for the Phoenix race. If that happens, we'll let you know, I promise.
And who knows? It may end up, I may pop in once again with Pat Patterson, the racing guy.
Last year in the IVRL Bud Kicker Cup Series finale, we had Pat Patterson, the racing guy, Randy Pepper, myself, and Justin Anderson call the finale, and it was by far the most fun broadcast I've ever done in my life.
It was a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it.
If that happens again, I will be excited. If it doesn't, it's okay. But, folks, we have 3 races left in this season. We start the round of 6 next Wednesday right here on Ghostfire Media, 8:45 p.m. EST at Martinsville Speedway for 150 laps under the lights in Tennessee. Why did I say Tennessee? In Virginia Beach. I was looking at Bristol on the map here. In Virginia Beach. For a beautiful race where you're going to need headache powder afterwards. Guarantee it. There's going to be crumpled cars, angry drivers, and some very hostile attitudes in Victory Lane. I guarantee it. There's going to be bumping, moving, probably some spinning and wrecking. But Randy Pepper, I for one know I'm ready to get on a plane and get the hell out of Illinois.
Yeah, I'm ready to head back to the Sunshine State.
I'll go anywhere else.
The power's back on.
I will go anywhere else. Just get me out of Illinois. I'm never coming back to this damn state. They're tearing this track down.
You better watch out. You might be there right during the purge law happens, and you'll be the first one to be looking for.
Listen, I'm walking out of this booth, walking down those stairs, getting in that helicopter, going straight to the airport, and getting the hell out of here.
Oh, boy. All right, well, let's get out of here, and I must get out of here. I need to make pee-pee. So, all right, folks, you've been listening and watching the broadcast of the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. You think that was funny, huh? Anyways, you've been watching the racing here on Ghostfire Media. And until next week, guys, you have a great one, and we'll see you here once again on the Ghostfire Media Network. He's Nick Adams. I'm Randy Pepper. So long from the Sunshine State.
Tune in Monday, short track racing.
That's right.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.